As we head into Pioneer Day weekend, we could see a surge of COVID-19 cases.
Fox 13's Lauren Steinbrecher is live at Intermountain Medical Center in Murray, where doctors say if cases continue to rise, we could now be just weeks away from a system overload. Lauren.
Yeah, Kelly and Bob, and doctors have been saying this for weeks now, watching those numbers. There were surges seen after some other recent holidays, so it's all up to what people do this weekend as to what we see later on down the line.
We're heading into the holiday weekend with the highest overall amount of hospitalizations from COVID-19, Intermountain Healthcare says, with 40% of those in the ICU. Dr. Todd Vento says they're watching the numbers every day, and predictions show it'll keep rising.
We still are showing that the numbers are still estimated to increase, and that we expect, for example, in the next 14 days, an additional 160 to 200-ish hospitalizations.
Their number one worry in the coming weeks, he says, staffing. Number two, enough places for patients.
The key areas that we look at, the staffing, the ventilators, the ICU, the number of hospital beds on a regular basis. But we are concerned about what's happening in the community.
Intermountain Healthcare is handling it so far, and they have plans in place if the system is overwhelmed.
Right now, we've been able to manage that. But this concept of managed versus being overwhelmed, it can be this sort of fine line.
They'll be watching what happens during the Pioneer Day weekend. Dr. Vento explains numbers have jumped after past recent holidays.
Going into a 3-day weekend in particular, even more important for folks to really concentrate on wearing a mask in public. Don't go out if you don't have to. And if you do, focus on your physical distancing.
What we do now, he says, could impact what they're dealing with a week or 10 days from now.
Everything we do as citizens in the community does translate to what happens in the hospital. And then unfortunately it translates to what happens in terms of deaths, et cetera.
Now that concern with the hospital, even beyond just if we see more hospitalizations, he says that some end up staying in the hospital for a long time. So if you have those people plus a surge of cases, that's when it really starts to become a problem. Live in Murray, Lauren Steinbrecher, Fox 13 News, Utah.